Well, hello, House Church, and welcome to this side week. So I hope this is a week that you're going to take some time to care for the needs of one another and to look at the relationships that you have within the group and be able to speak into one another's lives. This last week on Sunday, we looked at two really simple things that we could do to nurture the DNA that we already have in us. That is, the way that we can look like our Heavenly Father. That was one, to say no to revenge, and specifically to say no to slander, because that's often the way that we enact our revenge. And secondly, that we were going to say yes to unmerited generosity. So no to revenge, that being slander, and yes to unmerited generosity. And the question that I had when I was reading through this was really, is there a time that this doesn't apply? Is there a time where we can bend these rules, break these rules, and skip over this and say, all right, that's really cool 90% of the time, but what about this? What about this exception? And then I had two light bulbs that came out of that. First of all, when I started reading through both Leviticus and Matthew, it was really interesting to me because in Matthew, the people that Jesus is speaking to are the Jews. The Jews are under Roman rule at that time. And therefore, they were being insulted on a regular basis. They were actually literally being asked to carry loads 1 mile. Roman soldiers would do that, just like we see Simon of Cyrene in the story of the crucifixion of Christ. They would say, hey, you, pick this up and carry this for me. And so these were actual events that were happening in their lives. So they were always the victim. The interesting thing was in the Leviticus passage, if you read the chapter 19 in its entirety, God is speaking to his chosen people at that time, and it's directed in such a way that it's actually, hey, when you do something wrong, this is how you're going to make it right. And in a way, he's actually assuming that he's speaking to the aggressor. When you knock out someone's tooth, if your animal or livestock causes harm to someone else, this is what you're going to do about it. This is how you're going to take care of other people. And so it started to dawn on me that maybe there isn't an exception. It doesn't matter if you're the victim. It doesn't matter if you're the aggressor. It doesn't matter on either end. No matter what, these rules will apply. And that's when the biggest thing that struck me, and we talked about this on Sunday, but this all comes down to Jesus and the Father asking us to be holy because he is holy. Right? This is not about his authority. This is not because he is God and he is commanding obedience, so follow these rules. But rather he's saying, hey, children, do like your Heavenly Father does. Put into action these things because these are things that I'm already doing. The truth is, he's not asking us to do anything that he hasn't already done. He's not asking us to be a kind of people or a kind of person that he already isn't. He has made a way for us to do this. So it's not about his authority, it's about his example. So in that, the conviction comes that if we want to have his DNA working in us, and if we want to nurture his character in our lives, then no matter if we're the aggressor or the victim, no matter the stake or the cost, his ways, God's ways, our Heavenly Father's ways are better. So let's say no to revenge and no to slander. And let's say yes to unmerited generosity so that we continue to bless others, bless those in the family, and make this a place where those who are on the outside will always feel welcomed in. Have fun discussing this with your group, and I hope you have a great week.